So we're clear. And we want to keep you in that water as less time as possible, so you have a better chance of surviving. Downstairs, life jackets, very back or stern, behind the concessions cafe. Remember, we could hop off the back there. Under each of the front stairwells on the main deck, there's a big exit door between those. But the life jackets are stowed under the stairs. Would you please take a moment, locate life jackets nearest you, possible exit points. For safety, find an alternate. What if something blocks your way? What if something destroys life jackets nearest you? Now leave them all alone. Thing about emergencies is they're all different. There's not a script. In an emergency, you get safety equipment, wrong place, wrong time, put it on wrong, you've made it useless. Passengers, you've got 3 simple jobs in any emergency. They are simple but important jobs. Please remain seated. Please remain calm. Please wait for our instructions. If you just do those 3 things, we'll get through any situation with the least possible damage. Sit back, relax, enjoy. We've got it. We're good at it. By the way, you ever heard the story about a plane landing in a river? The 2 people who put themselves in the most danger that day were the people who ignored instructions. For real supplies, the first one was the flight attendant. The one thing they train you don't do, don't open the rear door. She did. Her last day on the job's on the YouTube. David Letterman show of things. She's the one in the purple cast. Don't open the door. She did. The force of the river swings that door open so fast, so hard, it broke her leg in multiple places. She didn't help rescue. She was the first to have the rescue. The other was the passenger who jumped in the water thinking they could swim in the middle of January. Again, not good. So please wait for our instructions, and we'll get through it. Sit back, relax, enjoy. We've got it. We're good. Captain is going to blow the ship's horns. 1 long blast, 3 short. Frighten loud noises, cover those ears, like them and enjoy. We'll try to do it as soft and quick as possible. 1 long blast, 3 short.
지하철도 살짝
Directly behind us is Weehawken, New Jersey. Now, it's probably going to be over your left shoulder. Look on top of the cliffs above the treetops and see if you can find a red brick building that looks a little bit like a castle. Flagpole in the left corner, pointy steeple on the right corner.
Oh.
Below it, there's a white building. The red roof is lighter and brighter than the red brick. Under the treetops, left of the white building, the clearing dips in Hamilton Park. The dip clearing is where Hamilton fought the fateful duel at dawn with Aaron Burr, July 9th, 1804. So that's over your left shoulder. Ahead of us, to the left, the USS Intrepid is in museum in the top. The last aircraft carrier built by the U.S. to enter World War II, considered the most heavily jammed ship that survived the course, they'll be closed tomorrow. But come Tuesday again, you can walk to that under pier and create the silhouette of the Twin Towers for your skyline photo using actual World Trade Center steel. Beyond the Intrepid, there's the two white piers for passenger liners. And then you just see the rusty tip of Pier 92. Track 40. Pier 92 off of West 52nd Street. 4 blocks in, minus an appendix, Stephen Colbert does the Lake Show. Left of that in the middle of the river, 15 years ago, is where Sully and Skiles landed the jet.
저쪽 반대쪽이
Go to your left now, Hudson Runway.
맨튼 아래쪽이 엄청 크다.
The outside decks are open for standard, have at it, Pier 81 to your left has the North River Lobster Company code. Kingdoms rise and fall, colonies become countries. When you name it on a nautical chart, so there's no mix-up, that's the forever name. Go ahead, call it the Hudson, who doesn't? You want a nautical chart of this river? 4 centuries and forever, you're in the North River. Or the rim boundary of the tip. On your left of the ferry boats, brown brick removers. On the right, big brown brick removers against the cliff. The air vents for drawings of cars and newspapers coming out of the proposed Lincoln Tunnel in the spot where Bronx Jr. Ron Painter built bigger launched that and made it bigger. More than 80,000 vehicles across the world's busiest tunnel, the Lincoln Bridge. Daily, 1.2 million vehicles in Manhattan, and try to park in half as many parking places. The pier beams to your left is Pier 76. It used to be home of the United States State Association. It used to be the tow path. All illegally parked vehicles in Midtown towed here locally. During the pandemic, they made the park. Black and gray glass behind it, the Jacob Javits Convention Center. I'll give you 5 blocks of exhibit space between 4 streets by being multi-colored. The city of skyscraper will be used to the concept. Convention here for Vegas. 2 levels is more than 2 levels. Hudson Yards is the cluster of skyscrapers to your left. In the center, a sculpture called the Vessel. It looks like the bottom half of the people. By Thomas Edison. You're looking at $10 billion for a $22 billion development. Luxury hotel, luxury residential, high-end corporate. Stephen Sondheim's last musical is at the Shed. You heard of Raise the Roof? That roof is movable. That theater can shed the roof. To your right, 5 the UBS Bank building. See the blue one? Beige and tan condos below it, bottom right. Remains of Lincoln Harbor. Superstorm Sandy destroyed it. October 29, 2012. The day after my last visit. September 11th, 22 years ago, I also had the day off. Mike Colbert has evacuated more than 40,000 people from Manhattan to there. Under 6 hours, half staff. Our union evacuates more people than Dunkirk and London. August 14th, 2003, the Northeast electrical blackout. I had the day off. Circle Line evacuates 100,000. I'll never forget that sight. Sully and Skiles landed the jet plane in the river behind us. Circle Line Manhattan, where the rescue was coordinated from. I had the day off. Aren't you glad I did? Empire to your left, the top looks like a 1930s rocket ship. 7 o'clock tonight, the lights will blink on and on. Choreographed Jim Gallen's native tremor song, Wrap Me Up in Rhythm. WLTW 106.7, put that on the radio and then watch it. Chelsea is the neighborhood to your left. It's 4 blocks in from the red light.
그래도 약간 그런 것 같긴 하더라. 왕이.
Clement Clark Moore had a farm slash
근데 이번에다 골프장 지으려면
this is not the same thing.
나중에 해줄 것 같긴 해.
Was the night before Christmas. Do you ever think of Manhattan is where that event took place? Dylan Thomas, Wolf, 520 North, the Miller Entertainment Club, and Sid Vicious. Make Chelsea famous. No, correct me if she's there. The green netting to your left, the former golf driving range, featured at Serendipity. Left of that, 3 decades of crime. Law and Order TV crime dramas and their interiors. Caesar Link, kayaking, paddleboarding, fireboat, the 343, left the bin, some premier engineering. Control line, that looks like concrete. That's at Pier 54, 14th Street. Where the Titanic was supposed to dock, where the survivors were gone, where the Lusitania left from. Noticing a trend? I had the day off. No one here is taking a photo. Maybe you're using it, but I doubt it. You're taking a digital image with your precious device. Yes. My precious. To your left, the tan building on the water with an empty flagpole gave birth to it. That used to be Bell Laboratories. Did you have the moon landing without the first transistors, the first telecommunications satellites, the first talking motion picture soundtrack recorded there, the first touchstone map, the first transatlantic dive? Well, with Bell Labs, the West End Department of Theater. Fly me to the moon and let me swing among the stars. Hoboken, New Jersey, to your right, the W Hotel, green for Christmas. Here at the top of the gazebo on the trees, Francis Albert Sinatra Park. Sinatra and baseball, morning Hoboken. Your cake box, like the restaurant, some goods and parlay, baby. Brown like a penny, turning green like Lady Liberty, Huey Lackawanna Terminal. Past the clock tower, the 10, the last ferry road. Hoboken ends. Jersey City. The most expensive apartments in the United States. Buyer lease. Hoboken's number 3. New York is number 2. Jersey City is now number 1. On our left is Pier 40. When Neil Diamond wrote and sang Coming to America, he's describing his grandmother's voyage from Hungary to that Community Park and Park. Left and right, the events of the Holland Tunnel stick up with the river. Greenwich Village, the birthplace of more U.S. culture than any other neighborhood. We're south of Houston Street, 40 minus 40. Houston Street, a wedding gift from William John Houston, the signer of the Declaration of Independence. New York, the first U.S. capital, and General Washington's winningest residence on Baltimore. They're like Houston, pronounce it Houston. Now he pronounced it Houston. On your left, Taylor Swift lives in an old warehouse down here. The properties once abandoned industrial repurposed residentially for the loan. The old buildings for industry have high ceilings, some of these for big prices for her friends. I'd show you which one, but it was a bad breakup. Taylor got to take. They've got to work and pay. So check it out. The financial district begins on the left with tall buildings for dozens. If your office building was built before World War II, that's easy. Expensive to upgrade if possible. In the last 3 years, how many of you worked from home and you liked it? Made it permanent? Go with that. 24% of New York City's tax revenue in corporate office space. On your left, 38% of the offices went vacant. 5% still on. The mayor and the governor had meetings about something. Did you inside with all the columns to Federal Hall, and then the church steeple. Wall Street was just light up our first stop. Tall ship to your left, the waiver tree from Liverpool, England. Apparently, Paul McCartney is working on a musical version of It's a Wonderful Life. Ringo and his all-star band played a concert on the Great Pier Roof to your left, Pier 17, Winter Carnival wear now. 2 floors below that, ESPN. Bottom 2 floors, restaurants and shops. My favorite skyscraper is Woolworth. To your left, with the view of Congress, 120 corner, 120 in the Disney Valley in Shenton. We're quite see what the dragons on Woolworth. Tallest in 1913, paid for in cash, no mortgage cash. Today in the top half, the condominium starts at $1,000. Line sold ships to a dock. German John Rogan pondered crafting steel like the ship's lines. The Brooklyn Bridge is final masterwork. This bridge is more than twice as long as another before. Steel cable makes the bridge possible. Steel cable makes the elevator possible.
현장원에 있네.
그
다리의 바닥이.
On the bridge to your right, there's an ice skating rink in Robert Fulton Prairie State Park. The Rolling Stones once kicked off a concert tour there. Their latest concert being tour sponsored by 8 Can't make that. 60% of them women. We're building ships 24/7. Today in cement and construction, the garment industry, pasta manufacturing, microbreweries. Right in Two-Town 10, the Great Building, Steiner Studios. Men in Black 3, Gotham, Girls, Enchanted. Filmed here. High Tech in Building 72. The Great Glass Towers coming up on the right. Luxury condominiums. The Schaefer Breweries. The Navy left in 86. We invested, we invented, and let the Navy Yard go strong in totally new direction. A young man from Bristol came to this country as an immigrant seeking fame and fortune on the vaudeville stage. His name was Archie. As an old man, he dedicated the part like Clout, Terry Grant. In case you saw the Bishop's Wife or any of the other classic novels. Marshall in old days. Now, the Williamsburg Bridge ahead is both a tragedy and a comedy. Many folks regard it as ugly. Many a woman has told me, looks are never. There's way more racing than even engineering than nothing good. In the late 1970s, New York City's on the brink of bankruptcy. By the early 80s, the ugly Duckling Bridge is suddenly gorgeous. All the money to fix it could go elsewhere and did. For decades, New York City was to be low. Time to pay the piper. $158 million rebuild house. Dan, it's his secretary. On the right, the old Johnson Sugar plant is redeveloped. The Red Brick Refinery is really a building inside of them. Then they did corporate. Out of the John Park Greenery. Parks Township, recreation. Tacos are tasty. Why wait for Tuesday? These new buildings are environmentally friendly. Doesn't it look like behind the blue crane somebody left the door open? Even if it's glass, it's all wide wall blocks air and light. But if you open it up, more air flows through, more light shines through. That's the trend of modern architecture. Minimizing environmental impact. Now, architecturally, I'm old school. But if you're like me, you see a new building in the city, and the first response is, what was the architect thinking? Ask yourself, how does that building's design interact with air and light and impact the area around it? Might open it up. The power plant to your left is 14th Street. No smoke from the stack. Steam from jet bowers. Don't burn coal. It's on your clean fuel oil, compressed natural gas. I'm saying that New York has headed carbon footprint more than 65% since I arrived in 85 West. With recycling, we cut our residential trash more than 2/3. We cut our water usage more than 2/3. We're actually the greenest city, or one of the greenest cities in the West. Nobody, not even locals, knows it. To the right of Empire, right of the smokestacks, the first mega tall tower, one band building west of Grand Central. Like Empire, there's an observation deck, but it's probably closed both Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday, I think, is the usual close day. The elevators on the outside of the building, which closed for maintenance, it's all black. Right of that, flat top, butter smell, that might be the darker store called You'll remember Flight 103 over Washington. So pointy, the Chrysler Building, triangular windows and second place finisher to Empire in the skyscraper. Out of the new construction, skip a couple of buildings. There's a white tower that looks like a steel truck. Citigroup, built on 8-story slabs. That is not two. St. Peter's Lutheran Church. Go to the right of that, there's a dark chocolatey glass tower. The Trump International, presidentially, I can't think of the developer. But left of that is the United Nations. The ID's one corner office. VIP area. But at the UN, some nations are more important than others. You notice the north-south walls have no windows. The wide east-west walls mean your nation will look east or west. No VIP area. The library at the UN has the reverse. The east-west wall is open. Whether the sun is rising or setting, your light doesn't change. In the distance to your right as we turn, the Evernight Conch-Queensboro Bridge, even if you're feeling rude, it's never been named the 59th Century Bridge. It tends to be the locals call it. Under the bridge, there's an island. Roosevelt Island today, once known as Welfare Island, the mentally ill, the physically ill, and criminals we can find there. Now between the bridge pillars is a $500 million computer genius school, Cornell Tech, and on this set, the Four Freedoms Park. My holiday wishes for you. The theme of FDR's third inaugural address, the Four Freedom speech. Freedom from want, freedom from fear, freedom of expression, freedom of religion. May we all enjoy. We'll take the break here, pick it up near the blue and white Manhattan Bridge. Visit the cafe or restrooms, talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic, certain line travels in either a small or a line.
이것도 있다.
Joseph Frank here went on to become a New York City high school English teacher. Wrote his life story, won the Pulitzer Prize, then they made a movie of it. The future's what you make of it. You make it good. To build the Manhattan Bridge, they destroyed a dilapidated structure. On your right, the big glass tower, 1 Manhattan Square, is where this structure used to be. Now it's falling apart. Kids were playing inside of it. Someone was going to get hurt or killed. It was going to catch fire. So they say it's too far gone, they shut it down. Problem. George Washington's first executive mansion.
덤보
You
가능.
might want to do over. See, experience is a real teacher. During the Revolution, September 21st, 1776, a fire destroyed everything south of Wall Street. At that point, Wall Street is the north border of the town. Christmas, Merry Christmas, 1835. A fire destroys everything south of Wall Street. July, 1845. Take a guess. 3 different fires destroyed everything south of Wall Street in 75 years. The joke of the day after last fire, there's a reason we call it New York. We were slow to embrace landmark preservation, just didn't think it was possible. Coming up on the right is the Verizon building, which was voted the 3rd ugliest building in the United States. I'm most disappointed they did not identify it. The bottom half of the building is where the whole thing used to be. All concrete to stand a nuclear attack. Quite a bit of municipal law. trees, flags march New York City Vietnam Veterans Memorial, 55 Waterfront Liberties. On your left, the Cranes in Frederick, Brooklyn. Number one port in the nation for importing cocoa beans to make chocolate. All Heineken beer, and it's the United States beer. Relatives, holidays, stressing out, beer and chocolate. The Green Ferry Terminal to your right, the Governor's Island Terminal, is the one featured in the golf collector with Denzel, money from that film, helped turn into a first-rate boutique hotel and restaurant. The Staten Island Ferry has the square openings, totally made over since working with it. Between the two, a Native American trading route, the Dutch made a wider ceramics for 4 centuries the broad way. The tall building behind these, the original shore. As you clear the Staten Island Ferry Terminal, the little red brick building that's now a church used to be a private home on the right hand with 4 columns with lots of house. The neighbors complain, 4 stories, it's too tall, it blocks the sun. Electric light makes a big difference today. By the way, that little ferry tube, Governor's Island, is electric. Governor's Island, to your left, former military base turned parkland. Great holiday light show. Again, the website, govisland.com. The red brick court to your left is basically where the National Park Historic District ends and the city park begins. Council Williams' name for John Williams, Colonel John Williams, a Revolutionary War hero, and Ben Franklin's grandmother. The walls are 10 feet thick and fire a small town shot of Burbank. The Staten Island Ferry to your right, during the day is the newest ferry. Named for a captain activist and writer, North York. 5 miles in from the port to your left is Greenwood Cemetery, where Washington's troops would lose that Revolutionary War battle. I cannot recommend highly enough touring any of the historic graveyards while you're in town. Among the notables there is the actress Laura Keane. Is that name familiar? It will. Civil and tremendous grand at Appomattox Courthouse. After leading a fractured nation at war within itself for over 3 years, the president decides to lighten the mood. Take Mrs. Lincoln for a night at the theater. See Laura Keane, our American cousin, now in rings of Britain. Within 24 hours before ending, Laura Keane is cradling the mortally wounded presidents in her lap, trying to bring comfort to him. Mrs. Lincoln is quietly proud of him. That's the event that starts the Statue of Liberty project. Not here, oh no, it starts in Versailles. A French scholar, Antoine Babelais, wanted to overthrow the dictator Napoleon III worldwide. Can't do it openly, he'll just be robbed. So the covert plan is to build a monument to democracy to make it again over equal times to the people of the United States. Should we unite the United States and just have the war end and lost its right to freedom? United France and the U.S. is old and makes you red, not the market of the Lafayette. United the French people to overthrow the tyrant who is far with worldwide democracy. The United Guest was the sculptor that did the controversial. Always put sculpts on the Colossus scale. fight for the fleet tour. 8-score, and a month ago, President Lincoln gave a speech at Gettysburg. He called the constant liberty that last full measure of devotion. Star-shaped fort, very high with the monument, Castle Wood. Stone Fort, 11 points, built solid of concrete, honors Colonel Eleazar David Wood, who gave his life to this country in the War of 1812. The Pennsylvania classic Egyptian combined with Aztec elements to cut costs. War ends, Lincoln still. He is beloved today because he didn't live to see both sides cancel the contracts, and the United States had an unemployment rate soaring over 20%. Had he lived, he would not be so popular. Have you seen the light? In her right hand is a torch, copper, 2 pennies thick, like the rest of it. Hammered by hand in these shapes, but on the flank, covered in 24-karat gold leaf, reflecting sunlight in the daylight, spotlights at night. Smart enough to bring a torch, you don't stumble in the dark. The proper title is Liberty Enlightening the World. The world has 7 continents and seas, the proud halo's 7 rays of light. You want to enlighten the world about democracy. Is she dressed in Athenian Grecian robes, Athens, democracy's birthplace? Or a Roman garment, doulas giving Roman slaves set free? No debate for me, like Heinz ketchup, like the statue's 4 donated steel beams from Scottish immigrant Andrew Carnegie, president of the Keystone Bridge Company, Pittsburgh, PA. I'm from Pittsburgh. Pennsylvania's the Keystone State. In her left hand is God above. She holds on a keystone, every Heinz ketchup flavor. Wider on the top, narrow at the base. The keystone distributes the weight of the others equally. Once it's placed, the arch will stand independent. Imposter writ on the keystone, the Roman numerals spell out July 4th, 1776. The Declaration of Independence, the keystone of our free society. As our captain makes a picture-perfect turn, ahead of you a picture postcard view. The skylines of Brooklyn and Manhattan. My office window beats anybody's. And that's a Royal Caribbean liner behind us now. That's on the Jersey City-bound border. The high ground is Staten Island. Snug Harbor Cultural Center, colonial historic Richmond town. Hike the Greenbelt rather than fight the crowd in Central Park. In Staten Island, home of the National Lighthouse Museum. Lady Liberty, the first fully electric lighthouse in the West. Were Brooklyn still that separate city, it would be the 4th largest in the West. As the 20th century was closing and the 21st opening, parts of Queens that used to be rural or industrial became more conventional recreation. New immigrants are pouring into Queens. It's the most ethnically diverse of the 5 boroughs, although Brooklyn still has more people. I lived in both. I love both. I live in Jersey City, really behind Lady Liberty. And it's the most ethnically diverse city in the U.S. Houston's number 2. Single parents do it all. French widow, 2 sons. Charles, so violently mentally ill, tried to kill his mother and brother numerous times. She held her family together till her son Frederic achieved some success sculpting. They can afford for Charles' care in an asylum for his and their protection. Did you know the face of the statue is the sculptor's mother, Charlotte? Unless you're the actress who plays the teacher who becomes Mrs. Claus in the finale, Santa Claus. Based on one entry in the sculptor's diary, she claims that the face is the sculptor's violently mentally ill brother. On one small entry, there's the face of Liberty. In a moment of calm, he had tried to kill his mother and brother numerous times. His success in sculpting meant they could care for him in an asylum for his and their protection. I'm going Occam's razor on this one. It's the sculptor's mother. The secret lives with Charlotte, and she is a national treasure. In today's money, $74 million, split between bonds and goods. And it's really a gift to the world. There's a reason why people of praise. With malice towards none and charity towards all, remember our liberty is a great gift. We cherish the gift of liberty in all its forms, and cherish the gift of each other in all our forms, ethnic, religious, political philosophy. No matter our differences,
여기가
cherish the gift
조금
of each other
늦어진
in all our
쪽인가?
forms, recognize if we know that's what we consider. Ellis Island to your west, more than 9 times larger than when Samuel Ellis bought it as a 3-acre picnic island with the family. Came to the colony, life good, business better, gone and married a British officer, buys the family a 3-acre picnic island in 1775. Within the year, back family are independence. He wants independence. The true war against his son-in-law, breaking his daughter's leg. Sides with family, not popular after. He went back to England, but his name is forever associated with those longing times. Well, we dug out from New York's oldest subway, the 4, 5, and 6 train, made Ellis Island more than 9 times bigger. Built the process 5,000 a day. Steamboat replaced sailboat. By 1909, more than 10,000 daily arrived. Your ship might wait 3 days for your turn. Which bags? Your baby. Now, or
네, 하루 영상을 찍어도 한 장면만 안 남겨요.
information can be exchanged electronically instantly today. So all the work gets done before the journey starts, if you do it legally. A group of cannons is called a battery. Coming up on the right, Battery Park over there. The long white tent is your airport-style security. If it can't go on a plane, don't take it to the sky. Before Ellis Island, the red brick fort behind the tent was the immigration center. As Castle Clinton, the fort never fired a shot for the Army. It used to be a separate man-made island, not on Manhattan. The Army sold it to the city for $1. Castle Clinton becomes Castle Gardens. More than 8 million future Americans squeeze through. Among the more famous, Charlie Chaplin. And the ancestors of President John F. Kennedy. The speech is on YouTube. Right at the tent, behind the White Mary, the stone tablets of North Atlantic Memorial. He dedicates it May 23rd, 1963. In the speech, he references his ancestors coming through that fort. Today, it's a part of Manhattan, and you'll find a flower garden, the Hope Garden. Under the flowers is the bridge his ancestors crossed. Above the fort, above the treetops, long gray building, pink shingles, green trim, the Alexander Hamilton Customs House on the original shore. Where natives traded for Colonel Hamilton stole cannons from a British fort, the Museum of the American Indian calls Bart home. Broadway behind it, shore walk up Broadway at Twain Street, the African slave burial grounds. Enslaved peoples built New Amsterdam, which became the city. The clock tower is the Great War Memorial. We don't think war is great. It wasn't called World War I until after World War II, till then known as the Great War. Here's hoping we never get to 3. And the beige buildings, the left half has a 6-level pyramid-style roof, the Museum of Jewish Heritage, also known as the Holocaust Museum. How we got spread out, immigrant groups throughout the nation. On your left, red brick building with the clock, the old New Jersey Central Railroad and Ferry Train. The peak years of immigration, 1909 to 1913, over 300 trains daily. A train leaving every 4 minutes, and 150 ferry boats a day. A ferry every 8 minutes, a train every 4. Imagine not speaking the language with family in tow, trying to find the way to the right one. The beige walls, a World Trade Center memorial. You can create the silhouette of the Twin Towers here at Liberty State Park. There was a lady looking for Woolworth. Behind One World Trade, the second building to your right is hiding all but the green top of Woolworth, the Cathedral of Commerce. The left edge of Woolworth will appear. On the municipal building, the gold statue will be half the height of Woolworth. When you see it, click your photo. Woolworth would have been between the Twin Towers. In Men in Black, the scene where Will Smith is on the park bench making his decision, you'll see that shot of the film. Woolworth between the Twin Towers. The reason I wasn't working, like Colbert, appendicitis. Really. Now, I got to the hospital in time. He didn't. Yeah. That's why his recovery was much longer. Emergency surgery, my doctor says you can work. Don't carry anything heavier than microphones. But management said I had to wait a week. So I'm to return on September 13th. It's primary Tuesday the 11th. I'm going out to vote, watching the news and the world change. First phone call from my mother. Where are you? Just had surgery. You okay? Mom, if I pick up the phone, I'm home. I'm 5 miles away. I'm fine. There were 3 or 4 of those in a row, including one from my church. Please remember that. When I finally got a moment to think, the boats are going down here to evacuate. I called in. Do you need me to take up a group? You can't get here. You can't work. There's a little glass building behind the marina to the right. Looks like a 1930s jukebox. It's called the Winter Garden. A step back further in time, New Year's Eve, 97, January 1st, 1998, to celebrate the centennial of the corporation of the city of Greater New York. I am waltzing and swing dancing between palm trees there, but not what you see. 40% of that building was destroyed. All 60 were cut down. They kind of recreated it. It kind of looks the same, but they're not as tall, they're not as pretty. The fact of the matter is, folks, it will never be the same.
재밌는데? 운동은 처음 타봐서 어떤 거? 운동은 그냥 보는 거? 편의점을 샀던 거는 그냥 바로 다이렉트로 그냥 타면 되는 거? 다이렉트 상황이 있어서 그게 얘기할 건 몰라고 했다고.
And they're all fine. None of that makes us good. Do remember, we gather at the Waterfalls Memorial that outline their foundations that we have rebuilt. So, current news. The $75 million Performing Arts Center opened here in September. Some people are very upset by that. Making art is not my go-to response in the face of an act of hatred or war. I do get there across time. But some people are still very upset by it. If there's anything that upsets me about it, that's that they're in a revival of cats. Not my favorite joke. There's not going to be a Tower 2. Not in my lifetime. No corporate tenants demanding it. In fact, they're struggling to build the buildings, corporate buildings they built. Well, Building 5 has had a battle royale for that very reason for more than a decade. Make it residential. Luxury housing pays for itself. Well, we flooded the market with that. Run out of rich people to sell to. Make it middle income housing. It's the biggest need in the city. True. You know why no one builds middle income housing? you invest a lot, it takes a long time to make a profit. If you do, it's a small profit. There's no money in it. Well, in September, an elegant solution has been announced, and people are getting excited. This might happen. I think it's probably going to happen. Building 5 will be 1,200 residential units, mostly luxury, but 33% will be middle-income affordable, and the first 80 are being offered to surviving family members exclusively. We do love it when folks come to visit. Thank you for spending time and money with us, helping us recover from the pandemic. But I want to extend an invitation, and I'm serious. Love to have these neighbors. Yes, you're going to make lifestyle changes when you come here. And Lord knows, as a 15-year-old passenger, in March of '78, when the city was on the brink of bankruptcy and people were writing New York off as dead, when I was a 15-year-old Circle Line passenger, I never thought one day I'd be the tour guide. The dive in, you'll love it. There's no place like it. How I got through the layoffs after September 11th and the pandemic, I will put succinctly. DJ used to work at the airways here, and he said, you will find this town always has one more hole for one more soul. To your left in Jersey City, the sculpture, the water's soul. The sculptor from Spain, Juan Plaza. The title of the sculpture, the water's soul. It's an African tradition that the soul of the waters is female. I'm speculating here. The model wishes to remain anonymous. She's from Spain, but of course the same. She's rising up out of the water with a single finger to her lips as if to say, shh. Listen to the wisdom of changing times. When I was ready to give up on New York, Pappy always said, good or bad, this too shall pass. The tides come back. What are the tides whispering to you? What wisdom does your soul this holiday most need to hear? Folks, last call. You want to make your final purchases now, have you or take your kids to use the restrooms now. We'll make the speedier exit later. That helps out you and the crew. Make those purchases now, have you and the kids use the restrooms now, buy your boarding photos now. So please have a great holiday in our city. shorter modern building is called Billowing Sails by architect Frank Gehry. It's an abstract sculpture of three racing sailboats. Barry Diller was the CEO. That is the IAC corporate headquarters of sailboat racing. You see the billowing sails and the architecture. I love that. To your left, the darker red brick condominiums before you get the marina of party boats. Maxwell Place. The Maxwell House Coffee Bean Roasting Plant was 100 years ago. No. 1992 when I started at Circle. But 180 years ago, that was all park. That was called the Elysian Fields. Part of the park still does remain. That's where the first baseball game was played. Not Cooperstown, New York, not after Doubleday, like I was taught in school. In June of 1836, Alexander Cartwright organized the first baseball game in Hoboken, New Jersey. He went on to Hawaii. He founded Hawaii's fire department. He's buried out there. If you have any holiday monies left over, because of all the fires out there, go spend money in Hawaii. That experience very much like New York after September 11th. Posters about so-and-so missing. Future tourists would always go there. Last minute holiday gift for kids. On the right, there are two red and white boats. The smaller, the closer is the John J. Harvey. Put yourself in my awkward size 11s. What do you say to an 8-year-old who asks you, why did they crash the plane into the towers? The children's book Fireboat is from Putnam Press and will make a great gift. The Harvey is the hero. True story. Children's book Fireboat. Website to make a donation. Keeper of Fireboat.org. The Empire State Building looks like a 1930s rocket ship on top. Is the Apollo 13 a skyscraper? A successful failure. They broke ground on the same date. Stock market crashed, October 29, 1920. That's why there was a race to build it in 18 months. A race to sign up tenants. Didn't work. It opens May of 31, mostly vacant. As a joke, New Yorkers called it the empty state building. Architect Roy Hood used to have his kids have birthday parties on the empty floors. They would have roller skating parties. As a corporate real estate project, it does not make money until 1967, long after the Great Depression and World War II were done with. It still makes more money as a tourist attraction. We paid off the mortgage. It's now almost 91% occupied. Chrysler is 80% occupied, but it's struggling. One of its co-owners is going bankrupt. 40 Wall Street was the building that finished third. It seemed to be safe, but because it's been remortgaged to the hilt, and it's only 70% occupied today, it may go into default. The tide changes. Is Hudson Yards going to work? Unknown. Saw a gentleman with the Miami Dolphin hat. Stephen Ross, owner of the Dolphins, is the CEO of related companies who did Hudson Yards. The tallest of the buildings, 30 Hudson Yards, has that observation deck, that platform that sticks out. And that might help you remember, in the Iron Man or Avenger film, Stark Industries. Just like Empire, it's $44 or so to get to the top. Different than Empire originally, this one has a bar. Now, I'm not saying the drinks are cheap. I'm saying I can save you money. If you pre-order your drinks online in advance, they will be cheaper. But be careful what you wish for. 40% of that porch is glass. You'll look 1,000 feet down to the street. Not a big enough thrill for you, Sparky? This attraction is called The Climb. I think it's on the building that has the spiral of steps. 10 Hudson Yards is also nicknamed the spiral. For more than $200 per person, you get to climb into a blue suit. The suit is a sling. It's attached to the window washing thing. Up on the building, like old St. Nick, you climb 13 floors on the outside of the building. Various places you can lean over the side, get your photo. And when you get to the top, or is that it? they will give you a champagne toast. Let's be clear, the branch of my family, that Slavic Russian side, I was mentioning, settled in Aliquippa, West Aliquippa, PA. Among the famous neighbors, composer Henry Mancini and two NFL legends, Mike Ditka, and that young student in my great aunt's high school class, Anthony Dorsett. In that family, if you weren't a nurse or a teacher, you probably worked for General Steel. There were a few iron workers, people who build skyscrapers for a living. I don't pay you $200 to climb on the outside of anything. You're going to be paying me more than $200. Start the champagne, bring a lot, bring a bag of it. It's going to take a lot. Oh, by the way, it had better be Don Perignon, because I am not cheap. I am terrified of heights. No matter how good looking you ladies are, and face it, ladies, you're good looking. Or how good that champagne is, you're not going to get me out there. Couples always ask, where's the best view? Empire, top of the Rock, One World Trade. People, I prove this point every time I pick up a Circle Line mic. It's the New York skyline. No idiot can mess it up. No matter what direction you look to find a construction crane, in the next decade, Empire will no longer be in the top 10. Something like 70 construction projects, some done, some that haven't started yet are underway. The cell phone in your purse, pocket, or hand, your precious device, yes, my precious, has more sophisticated electronic capabilities than the Apollo or shuttle program worked with. In fact, your cell phone's charger does more computational work than the entire Apollo space program, so your phone does not blow up in the bad way. Use your powers wisely, text your friends and family, tell them how to have a great time with us. Now's the time to find a seat. If you're downstairs, stay on the lower decks. If you're upstairs, stay with me. Boarding photos and restrooms will be available on the other side of our piers. Staff will direct you to those. Folks in the red circle line jackets are ambassadors, they'll direct you. I'll be downstairs on the bow next to the gangway if you need to meet and greet. I do have to get back to the North Pole. I've got a lot of deliveries to make. Keep the stairwells clear. Been your host. My name is David. Safest if you're seated. God bless and take care in our fair city this holiday and beyond.
산에 먹다가 떨어진 거 주워 먹으려고 생기네. 배 탄에 올라타네.
You should be good now. Folks, it's very important. Use the handrails and the stairwells. Do not be watching your phone screens. Watch what hands and feet of you and yours are doing. Stay inside the cabin till the crew opens the doors. And make sure you step over both ends of the gangway carefully and completely. The feet you save may be those of your own. All ashore who's going, exit the gangway to your right.